This is Thomas Lyons from Raps on TV. Unfortunate to be joined on the phone by none other than light middleweight contender Liam Williams. How you doing, Liam?
Very good, mate. Thanks. Very good.
That's great to have you on the channel, champ. And I've been looking forward to this interview all day. The discussion we're going to have, obviously, about the transition to the Dominic Ingle gym up in Sheffield, and covering a range of topics between the domestic scene at 154 pounds, some of those big fights you've obviously been involved in the last few months. So just to start, Liam, obviously you've made the transition to Dominic Ingle's stable. Obviously it's been well documented over social media in the last few weeks. Obviously parting ways with Gary Lockett, who's a very reputable trainer in British boxing, and so what's it been like, obviously, the sacrifice you've had to make, the time spent away from your family, and joining such a booming stable at the moment in Dominic Ingle?
Yeah, it's great being up there, really enjoying myself. Good training, I'm around good people. It was different. First of all, it was very difficult to leave Gary because we more than just train a fighter. We got a really good relationship, and I class Gary's a really good friend.
Yeah.
So and we continue to be very good friends. We left on good terms. So I'm very happy that we could do that.
Yeah, of course.
But other than that, I'm really happy to be up in Sheffield. I'm enjoying myself. I'm really enjoying boxing again more than I have been in the recent, maybe six months to a year, really. Yeah.
Obviously, without putting Gary in sort of a position of not disrespecting him of what he's done with you in your career, but how excited are you for this next chapter in your professional career? Obviously, joining up with Dominic Ingle and being surrounded by former world champions and current world champions, the likes of Billy Joe Saunders, Kell Brook, Kid Galahad, and so on.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Obviously, I've had a good couple of years with Gary. We've had a good run of wins. We've had ups and downs. We've won together. We've lost together. So, I'm more than ready to move on. I'm excited. I got a new lease of life again. I'm only 26. I was 26 maybe 3-4 weeks ago. So, I've still got so much to give. I still don't feel like you've seen the best of me. Because the biggest fights of my career were when around the time when I started to, get a bit fed up of everything. So I feel like there's so much more to come. It's great being around all the boys up in the Ingle gym.
How much? Obviously, I've mentioned Kell Brook, obviously being in and around your weight class, obviously moving up to 154 pounds. How much are you looking forward to having that elite sparring on a regular basis with the likes of Kell Brook?
I'm looking forward to it. It wouldn't be not too much of a big change for me because I've done my fair share of sparring with Kell anyway.
Yeah.
Over the last year or two, they pulled me in for 12 out with a couple of fights and whatever. But obviously you've got Billy Joe Saunders also, which is a middleweight. You've got Jason Quigley. Obviously, a lot of the other boys is one or two bigger people, but most of the other boys are smaller boys. And but the sparring I have around my weight in that gym is, you have to pay good money for that kind of sparring.
Yeah. And actually, Liam, there's one thing, obviously, before I move on to talk about the domestic scene, 154 pounds. The Dom Ingle death run. Could you elaborate a bit on what that's been like? Obviously, since going up to the gym, I've seen on your Instagram story with Atif Shafiq. I think it was yesterday. It might have been. Obviously, after the death run, what does it do to the fighters up at the Ingle gym?
It's tough. He never does the same one 2 times in a row. They always mix. They're mixing it up constantly, and the times change and the speeds change. But in general, the runs he gets you to win they're pretty brutal, to be honest. They're massive. They're proper leg burners,
Yeah.
They'll kill the fittest off.
So obviously it's fair to say that your stock's gone through the roof in recent years. Obviously touching on the two fights you had with Liam Smith. Just going back to the first fight, Liam. How frustrating was it? Obviously the circumstances to which the first fight sort of concluded. You know, obviously the head clash was an awful clash of heads. You know, in the fight. And obviously, in hindsight, how much of a frustration was that? Obviously, Gary's put your well-being as a priority in the fight. He's obviously decided to take it upon himself to obviously pull you out, and rightly so. I mean, fair to say that the cut was very deep, and I'm sure the heart that you have, you know, you'd have carried on for another 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds. But yeah, I mean, how frustrating was it for you, Liam?
Yeah, you know, it still bothers me sometimes now when I think of it, because it was just so frustrating. I was doing so well in the fight. I was well up on the cards.
Yeah, I had you well up, definitely.
Yeah, I felt like I was boxing very well. But you know, boxing's one of them sports, and anything can change in a split second. You know, so I'll just take it on chin. But you know, as far as my performance goes, I felt I was boxing very well. I was well in front. You know, whatever happened, and which took us to the second fight. Second fight, I felt, you know, very close again. Last couple of rounds lost me the fight, I think. I thought it was very close. I'll be honest with you. Even with the last couple of rounds, I thought I lost. But you know, without making excuses, I did have very bad hands, damaged both my hands, and towards the end of the fight, I just couldn't stick with the pace. I couldn't keep throwing the punches I wanted to throw. I was only landing a jab, and I was getting shooting pains up my arm from my left hand. You know.
Yeah.
It was just so frustrating, because when I finished the fight, I stood in the corner and I thought, you know what, like, I got so much left in the tank, which I could have let it all go, but I physically weren't allowed to do that because I was in so much pain.
So what inspired you to choose MTK to guide this chapter of your career, Liam?
You know, again, like Gary's managing me also. I don't feel like Gary done anything wrong in terms of managing me. He done the best he could.
Yeah.
But it came a point where you know, the last couple of months I haven't been as active as I would like to be. And you know, I was looking at MTK. They're managing a lot of very good fighters now, and they seem to be producing the goods. I spoke to Billy Joe Saunders before I decided to train with Dominic Ingle.
Yeah.
You know, we had a good chat when I was there sparring, and he said, "Look, give him a ring and see what, you know, have a chat and see what they could do." And we spoke. You know, the things they said they could do, which you know, I think they're in the process of making these adjustments. It just seemed like the right move to make there. They've obviously got a lot of pull. They got a lot of respect as a management team. They got so many fighters now, and they're working with all different promoters and whatever else.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was simply the best move for me.
Yeah, excellent stuff. And I mean, MTK seem to, you know, keep building, having major shows, you know, all across the country, and it's a testament to their.
They're massive, mate. They just seem to be expanding constantly, and credit to them. They're doing a great job with most fighters, you know.
Obviously, touching now on the light middleweight scene, you know, 154 pounds domestically. Before obviously going to talk about the world scene. But I mean, like at the moment, it's you know, one of the most thriving divisions in boxing. I mean, every division seems to be booming at the moment. It's a great sort of state for British boxing at the moment. But obviously, there's a few fights, a few names in the hat that I'd like to obviously bring up. You've got obviously Kid Shamrock, James Metcalf. I think that's a fight you're sort of looking out for. Is it September time? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that?
Yeah, that's. I know there's something coming up in September, which I want to come out fight with open arms. You know, it was talked about not so long ago, but the right deal went on the table. You know, demanding, but I didn't feel that deal was the right one for me. So I said, I'm not doing it. It's not that I'm afraid to fight Jay Metcalf because that's a million miles away from where you're at. But you got to be selfish and do the right things and get the right deals for yourself.
Yeah, of course. Obviously now the board have sort of ordered Asinia Byfield and Ted Cheeseman to fight for the vacant title. Who do you see winning that fight, Liam?
Ted Cheeseman.
Yeah.
I've sparred both guys. I sparred Asinia Byfield maybe, I wouldn't really like to say, maybe 2 years ago. I've seen him write one or two things on Twitter saying that he busted me up and I was like a stone heavier than him or whatever he said. He's full of shit, mate. I rolled up to McGregor's gym with in London. Well, it was actually George Groves' gym. I went there. I was overweight. I was full of the flu. I only done 6 rounds with him.
Yeah.
But what goes on in the gym stays in the gym. But in this case, I think the man's just a prick, to be honest with you. And he's going on saying false things, So I basically I beat him up and he got feeling sorry for himself. So that's that. And I wouldn't give him the time of day, but I wanted to fight him.
Yeah. And I think as well, obviously you made a great point there about obviously a lot of Spartan stories, get circulated around on social media, and obviously when it
sparring, and I would never, spread rumours and stuff, but he did, stupid man, he didn't bust me up. He's a fool.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of matchroom fighters at the moment at 154 pounds. Obviously, I touched on there, Anthony Fowler. If these fights do materialise, Liam, do you think there's going to be sort of a major problem between obviously the cross broadcasters and getting these fights to come to fruition?
It's a difficult one. If these fights are presented, I'd like to think not, because it would be good to work together and make these big fights. But I think there is a potential that there could be some difficulties,
Yeah.
As a boxer and as a fan of boxing, you'd like to think not. You just wish that everyone would want to work together, but unfortunately that's not the way it is.
Obviously, if the unification between Charlo and Hurd does come to fruition this year, who do you see winning that fight? Do you think sort of Hurd's got the physical attributes to sort of negate Charlo's aggressive style?
I'd go with Charlo, to be honest. Obviously, Hurd is very big and strong, as I said, but Charlo seems technically better, so
yeah.
And he can punch. He seems to have a good punch power. So I think if I come to my head, I'd choose Charlo. But it'd be a very good fight, that's for sure.
And just obviously, finally, Liam, obviously focus on yourself and your ambitions, obviously to get a shot at a version of the world title. Obviously, you mentioned there beating Jay Metcalf, obviously going down the WBC route. Is that realistically the route you want to go down, or is it a case of if world title shot with any of the governing bodies presented, you'll snatch at a title?
It makes no odds to me. I want to fight for world title, whether that be Smith, Hurd, or Charlo. I don't really care, but I just want another opportunity, And if I'm not given that easily, I'll make myself get into that position, and I'll work hard to make sure I do get it. Yeah,
and you're obviously more than happy to go stateside if that obviously any opportunity does present itself against the likes of Charlo, Hurd.
Yeah, 100%. That's kind of a dream of mine to go and fight in America. Probably in Vegas if I could choose. That's been a dream of mine for a long time. So I'd love to do that, but I wouldn't want to just go there to make up the numbers. I want to go, and I believe I can mix it with any of these guys.
Yeah, I mean it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the platform tonight, Liam, and I really appreciate you giving me some of your time. And I just have to say you're an absolute credit to the sport of boxing, and I think I really hope you do get that shot at the world title and just continue to grow from strength to strength. And obviously joining up with Dominic Ingle, I really do hope it all pays off for you. So is there any final messages you want to give to your sponsors, to sort of your close team, and sort of any final fans to your fans and friends and family?
No, nothing in particular really, mate. Just thanks to everyone, thanks, sponsors, as you said, supporters, all means the world to me, and I appreciate you all.
Oh, it's been brilliant having you on the platform, Liam, and I really do wish you all the best in the future, and bring home that world title to Wales. No worries. Thomas Lyons, Reps on TV, Liam Williams, pleasure to have you on the channel, champ, and all the best.
Thank you, buddy. Speak to you soon.
Nice one, mate. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.